welcome to the latest thrilling episode of the big American LaFrance V12 engine project. I'm on the road again, it's a beautiful day and I'm very excited because fairly soon I'm going to be indulging myself in another cheese and Marmite panini. But even more exciting is that today is the day that the chassis is being brought back to the bracket factory. First exciting thing of the day. So we're nearly there now, but I've just pulled over to show you something which is still fairly common in the UK. Something I always quite like to see, and I think you might too. So behold, the rural country forecourt. So not only is it very interesting forecourt, it's got a very interesting car in it as well. What's that? So this is the petrol pump, which is very cool, isn't it? I want to see what's in the garage. It doesn't look like anybody's home, which is a real shame because I wanted to have a chat with them about this car. Little Austin 7 saloon. Really nice. Well, that's a bit weird, there's nobody there. But looks like the land that time forgot. Look at that, all that. Land Rover. Right, let's head on, let's go and get the chassis. Right, back here with the chassis and loading up a load more bits. Right, I might have bitten off more I can chew here. I've got another car full. I've got a wing which has got Brian's name on it, some massive other thing. And of course we've still got to load up the car. Right, we're all loaded up and the chassis has been pulled out into the sun, partially anyway. You can now get a better look at it, just in all its glory. But we're now waiting for Steve with the V12. Steve, by appointment to the bracket factory, mover of heavy stuff. We just wait for Steve to turn up. Right, just waiting for Steve. He's got a bit lost, but he should be here any second, I think. Yeah, here he is, here he is, here he is. Go. There she is, ready to go. Right, let's wheel it down.
Start her up, mate. Drive up.
Driver, start your engine. How was Race Retro?
It was okay.
Did you take anything?
Took Derek's Impala up there.
Okay.
And Richard Petty's.
Oh, the NASCAR.
The NASCAR.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Up there, so yeah.
That is amazing.
Awesome.
So he is the custodian of that at the moment, is it?
That's it, yep.
He is a very honoured guy to be the custodian.
Beautiful, mate.
Are you the partner in crime?
Yep.
Are you? Right, all loaded up, back to the ranch. So now back at the bracket factory, but unfortunately there's been a bit of a cock-up in bracket factory communication. And I've come here and Steve has taken the engine down to Brian at Oak Swamp. So looks like we might be unloading in the dark. Right, Steve has arrived and it is totally my cock-up that the destination was incorrect. Steve didn't get the memo about plan B. Anyway, it's here now, it's all good. So the car is now in the garage and I think what we'll do is we'll get up in the morning and we'll take stock of the situation. So it's the day after the night before and we've pulled everything out and stuck it on the drive so we can have a damn good look. So we've got the Austin, the Daimler, a lot bigger, and the big V12 engine. So let's have a look at the Daimler first, shall we? So starting with the suspension, it is pretty chunky stuff, pretty chunky. I mean, these drag link arms are very big. It's a double leaf spring front end. These are control arms because it's got these shackles at each end. Again, all very heavy duty stuff. Suspension at the back is the same. You can see it there. Look, you can see these sort of droop straps. The bump stop is right up there. I mean, that's a good 8 inches. Lever arm dampers. I'm not quite sure why that's on there. Lever arm dampers. So I think the suspension looks pretty beefy. It's like a big old shackle on the back of there. It's all being reconditioned actually, so it's all in really nice nick. Right, now for the brakes. Obviously drums all round, and it's also rod linkage, so you can see the rod comes across to here. This is another kind of junction box here. Again, it's all been rebuilt at some stage by somebody. This, by the way, is a jack. More about the jack later. Braking system comes through to this pivot arm here, and it comes all the way through to the brake pedal. Pulls on this linkage here, and this dirty great big thing is a vacuum servo for the brakes. It's effectively power assisted brakes, and this is the vacuum servo, and this is the pressure vessel just here. Again, it operates through a series of linkages here, through to here, and across to there. They are 12 inch, I think they're 12 inch all round. It'd be nice to have them bigger, but they're not too bad, pretty good. Handbrake mechanism is all in place and working. Again, that operates on the same linkage there. All works, very nice, and it's a very attractive lever, isn't it? Beautiful. Right, what next? Engine and box. So it's a straight 6 engine, quite long, not quite as long as that, but quite long, through to a pre-selector gearbox. So this is your pre-selector arm here. When I do that, it does that, and it does that, and so you pre-select it. That's your little reverse detent thing, I think. Is it reverse? No, it's neutral actually. That's neutral. I don't know. And then you press the big lever. This engages the gear. Will I use that gearbox? Probably not. Anyway, it drives through to this diff. Now this is the sort of, it's got an underslung input, so that tells me that it's probably a helical gear inside there. It could even be a worm drive. I doubt it's a worm, but it's a helical gear. Quite a few comments on whether this is going to be strong enough. Probably not, but we'll see. So other interesting features are this thing here. This is a lever, and this valve goes all the way to the fuel tank, and if I'm honest, I'm not entirely sure what it is. I don't know. Does anybody know? Also, underneath here, we've got a jack. We've got a jack under each back wheel. There's one over. Can you see it over there? There's a jack underneath there, so you don't have to carry a jack around with you. They're already attached underneath the wheels. I suppose in the olden days, roads were bad. You got punctures. You might have needed it quite often. What else? Dirty great big tank. Not sure whether I'm going to keep that. It depends what body style I have. I'm not sure yet. What else? Oh, round here you have got the throttle linkage This goes here, goes to here, goes to here. It's also connected to here, throttle. Again, I'm not entirely sure how all this works, but it's all lovely. I mean, I'm going to be keeping all of these linkages and what have you. It's all fantastic, isn't it? It's all beautiful 1930s stuff. I'm going to be using as much of that as possible. So the $64 million question is, will the engine fit? So a quick look at this engine, and the distance across the front of the engine is about 50 centimetres across here. It's actually quite narrow, and it will easily fit, well, not easily, but it will fit. I've got probably 57 centimetres. So the nose of the engine will fit there, and I don't really want to pull the engine any further forward than this. So you can kind of see the line of the engine there. It would line up pretty much there. Going across this way, now the back of the engine, if we look up there, it comes to about there, so about there. So it's about 35 centimetres longer, and that's before we've even got the box in. But I've got the width in the chassis here. Forget about that for a second. I've got the width in the chassis for it to come back, of course, so which means the whole steering position would have to move back at least 40 centimetres. But again, that's fine because this is a four-seater car, and I can be sitting just in front of the wheels. I mean, look where you're sitting on the rag. Your back is in line with the middle of the axle. I mean, I could be sitting right back here, so tons of space. Obviously, there is one slight snag. This massive cruciform section in the gearbox is all in the way, so realistically what I'm going to have to do is take it all out, gulp, take it all out and move the whole thing back by to the tune of 40 centimeters or something, which means I want to retain that probably, so it means the whole mechanism needs to be moved back and all the linkages changed and lots of re-engineering of everything. But it's the sort of thing that gets done on Rolls Royces and Bentleys, I'm told, so it's not beyond the wit of man to do this sort of stuff. Yeah, so the other slight issue is gearbox. I'm not going to use that gearbox, and I'm probably almost certainly not going to use the American and the France gearbox. I still might fix it, but I'm not going to use it, so I do need to find a gearbox. So I've already had a couple of ideas for gearboxes, and what I'm really after though is more of a period gearbox, 1930s, maybe 1940s, possibly Rolls-Royce, not sure. So any thoughts about that, give us a shout. So in terms of the height of the engine in the chassis, if we look at well, it's difficult to see, but it comes, top of the engine comes to about 40 centimeters above there, and as it happens, purely coincidentally, the height of this engine in this frame gives me about 42 centimeters off the deck for the center of that, and this is, well, it's 46 off the deck. So this engine will only sit about 3 centimeters higher in the chassis, so it tells me it shows me how high the top of the engine is going to be in the car. Not too high, not overly high, and it still gives me probably 10 inches clearance on the sump, which is plenty. And you never know, I might even go for bigger wheels. I haven't decided yet. So the question is, what next? But before we talk about what next, there's actually a couple more boxes to have a quick look through, and that is these two boxes here. Right, what is in the box? So this thing at the top, I've noticed on some of the other parts, it's got Ben written on stuff. Ben. I thought, who is Ben? So Ben, turns out, is short for Bentley. So this says Bentley Master Cylinder. So this is a Bentley Master Cylinder, freshly built. Does anybody know what kind of Bentley that is off? That is the question. Bentley Master Cylinder. Some kind of cover plate which has been horrendously welded. Gas welded by the looks of it. Or splatter welded. So what's this? This says Delaney Galley Vulcan Works Edgeware. Some kind of heater matrix by the looks of it. Don't know what that's off. This looks like a dirty great big nut spanner for the Daimler. Ben spare headlamp. Big Bentley headlamps by the looks of it. Let's get them out, shall we? They're actually quite nice, aren't they? I quite like those. Maybe I'll fit those to the car. Rolls-Royce. A brief guide to Rolls-Royce and Bentley cars, 1925 to 1955. Interesting. Bentley door handles. Miscellaneous handles. Do we know what kind of Bentley these are off? Because I don't. More Bentley stuff. Offside dash above glove box. Well, all very nice, but I can't see myself using them. Actually, these are quite interesting. These are Coach Builders plates. H.R. Owen, James Young Limited, Coach Builders. This is I think these are the Daimler ones. Coach work by Daimler. They're quite nice. Mine's going to be coach work by Bracket Factory, but might not be quite as fancy as this. Some kind of tubey thing. Another one. Oh, that's quite nice. The remains of a Bentley cap. Bentley. Looks like it's being re-chromed. Looks like it's been ground out and re-chromed. It's quite nice though. Quite a fancy lock. It looks like the Bentley was blue. There you go. Right, let's look in the other box. Right, we've got another box here. So that looks like an ashtray out of something. Are they Bentley ashtrays? I don't know. Miscellaneous Bentley bits. Bentley locks. On a pull switch. That's quite nice. I like switches like that. Door furniture. By the looks of it. That's nice. I've no idea what it is, but it's nice. Anybody know what that is? These look like, are these armrests? I think they are armrests. Nice leather. I wonder if I can use that somewhere. It's quite cool, that. These look like cigarette lighters, or should I say cigar lighters, if it's a Bentley. Couple of bumper overriders. More brackets. Actually, they're quite nice brackets. Another chunky thing. Again, I don't know what that is. Finally, oh, another one of these. Again, whatever that is. Let's talk about what's next, shall we? So, what next? Well, definitely I'm gonna cut these off because I keep on smashing my shin on them, and obviously I don't need those. I also need to solve the gearbox question. Don't want to use the pre-selector. I want to use a standard manual gearbox. because I don't want to be mucking about with the pre-selector. I mean, it's a lovely gearbox, but I'm not going to use it. And the third thing I've got to do is obviously take this engine out. But if you want to see any of that, you're going to have to tune in next time. So if you like that, please hit like. If you want to see how the story unfolds, hit subscribe, and please do leave a comment. I really appreciate all the feedback I get. I try to respond to all the comments. But for now, thanks for watching.